Right to it. Peace, peace, peace. What's good, everybody? It's Amiri Israel, your host, the Black Dad's Creative, and we are here with the wonderful brother Anthony Jenkins. My man, how's everything going?
What's going on, everybody? I'm doing good, man. Everything's good.
Wonderful, wonderful. So if you would, just give us a little background about yourself and what it is you got going on for as your business or creativity.
Okay. Like you said, I'm Anthony Jenkins. I'm based in Orlando, Florida. I've been married for 12 years. My beautiful wife, Hannah Jenkins, and I have two amazing kids, Skylan, who's 9 years old. I also have my son, AJ Anthony, who is 8 years old. He just had a birthday a couple weeks ago. Yeah, and the kids really brought all the creativity out of me. As soon as they were born, kids do the funniest things. And my youngest son, he just really tend to see that camera and spark at it. You know what I mean? And I started pulling the cameras out, while they were both like one and infant, and started just filming them, doing little things. I haven't been as consistent, in the beginning because it was, all of this stuff was new. This was like 10 years ago, 8 years ago.
Right.
But I gathered a whole lot of footage, and I'll tend to just look back at it and just be like, wow, this is crazy. How in tune they were to just being funny and just on the camera. So as they got older, I started putting them in things like commercials and different things like that. And my son, he kind of took off a little bit with that. But still, even with my daughter now, they want to write stuff. They like, hey, let's do something together. And then it makes it so much fun that I get to enjoy creative stuff with them. And it's like they know, all right, let's do this. Even the other day, I did the dance video that you were talking about. My son, this was a dance that he actually made. He actually liked listening to Michael Jackson.
Which one was that? The 9-year-old?
Yeah, not the 8-year-old.
Yeah,
the 8-year-old.
I have an 8-year-old. He's like the dad of the household, man.
Yeah, he wanted to do this dance that he's like, Dad, I made this up. I like this. Why don't you record this? I'm like, all right, you got to teach it to me.
Right.
So it's just a blast doing stuff with them.
Yeah, man. I definitely can attest to that, man. Just watching those videos 2, 3, 4, 5 years prior to now, man, it's like, man, I actually have a portfolio,
Yeah.
You already have things in hand that you can share with the world and promote Black fatherhood or Black family. Not even just Black family in general, you know what I'm saying? And I definitely understand that. So just like you said, so they influenced you to pick up the camera, or was it something you were into prior to growing up as a kid or teenager or whatever, prior to you having a family?
Really, I didn't pick up a real camera. I bought my first real camera maybe 4.5 years ago. Mm-hmm. But prior to that, it really was just my cell phone and just, recording on my little iPhone. Right. But they really inspired that. They were the kickoff for it.
Right.
And I just wanted to, it was great to just share them with the world. I know some people were like, you put them, in the beginning, everybody was real, I don't know about putting kids on social media thing, but they, I just want to share that piece of joy. It's just a part of my life. It's not anything that we putting on for, that's what we was normally doing. And I was like, I share a piece of it.
Right. So we are very, very alike in that aspect, man. Sometimes especially when you get creative block, we have an excuse because we have a live family that's full of life, very vibrant, very vigorous. We can just turn the camera on them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's not the fact that, at first I was like that. I was like, man, I don't want to put my kids on social media kind of blowing their spot. but once again, is showing positive images for his family. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's pretty much like carrying your load in that aspect. You know, I know myself personally, I can figure that you yourself don't like the images that's being portrayed upon black fathers and black men in general. But it's like you take that load, all right. Let me do my part in showing the world that that's not us. So yeah,
Yeah.
I definitely tilt my hat to that. Is it? What's your experience balancing it all, like balancing fatherhood and creativity? You said it yourself. It's pretty easy. It's the lifestyle. So how would you explain balancing it all?
Balancing it, with me, it's just about, every day we get up, you know what I mean, and me and the kids, I always, my wife, she goes to work before me, and she normally gets home after me,
Mm-hmm.
so I either take them to school and I'm picking them up and bringing them home. So that balance is just, I make sure I spend time with each of them individually, and just collectively together. It's not a situation of like a Joe Jackson moment. Come on, we're gonna do this.
Right.
I kind of wait for them to bring the idea to me sometimes,
Right.
My daughter, and getting older now, she really wants to do like YouTube makeup tutorial stuff,
Oh yeah,
and
that's
she
big.
don't wear makeup. She
She
don't wear
said,
no makeup. She don't know nothing about it.
right,
But,
right.
but I can just imagine that just being something kind of interesting. Just let me see what she gonna do, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
But I balance it by just letting it come naturally to all of us. But just remaining that same dad to them each day, and spending as much time with them as I can, every single day.
Yes, sir. Rightfully so. Rightfully so. And you know what that does is, man, when if the family or the kids making suggestions, that lets you know that they're comfortable. You know what I'm saying? You definitely don't want to force nothing upon them. But like I want
Nah.
you to do it this way, this way. If they're asking you, they're ready to do it. They're ready to get there. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
and I know one thing with kids, so even though what you have planned is not gonna go how you have it planned. Trust me. I know you know this, but you have everything set up, ready to go. One of the kids might not be in a good mood, so it's definitely a balance,
Yeah.
fluctuation. But yeah, it's good. It's all good. How was your relationship with your father? You don't
Man, my relationship with my dad, he he set the foundation. He set the foundation for me because I was fortunate enough to have him in my life. You know what I mean? For 36 years. The rest of the soul, he passed away in 2018.
mind.
But my pops, he was there, man. He was I, it was a blessing to have him at every game,
Mm-hmm.
every recital, every, function that I had. He was the coach, he was the driver, he was
Yeah.
he was the food man, whatever was needed, but not just for me. The biggest part about my dad was he was that father for me, but he was also a father for other kids, other
No
people in
doubt.
the neighborhood. It blessed me so much, at his service, his homegoing service, how I seen a lot of guys who I haven't seen in 20 years just come out, and be like just want to pay their respects because he made that impact on their lives. And I know that him making that impact on their lives, it was just that much more for me.
Yes, sir.
One of the words that my father spoke to me that I continue to speak into my kids, I tell them this every night, because I'm a man of faith, and I sit down, I pray with my kids every night, you know what I mean, and just kind of and just speak positivity over them.
Mm-hmm.
But one of the things my dad told me, um, he used to share this with me. He said, "Everything you touch gonna turn to gold." And then when I accomplished something, he says, "Didn't I tell you?" I said, "Everything you touch gonna turn to gold." Everything you touch gonna turn to gold. And that just implanted in my mind. And deep down, subconsciously, I had this thought process that there was nothing that I couldn't do. You know what I mean? Because my father just really believed in me.
Yes, sir.
He was my number one fan in that aspect. And I want to just take that, you know what I mean? In his passing, how I dealt with his grief was I'm gonna take everything that he poured into me, and I'm gonna pour it into my kids. I want them to grow up with that same confidence, even just greater than mine. That there's nothing that they can't do, and that everything they put their mind to, that they'll be able to do it. And just be their number one fan, and just be there for them.
No
That's
doubt.
just
No doubt.
yeah.
That's man, and that's a blessing. Like you said, man, it's a blessing to have our fathers in our lives. I know many of us don't. Um, I'm blessed to still have my father around, and it was certain things that I was learned to not take an example from that he done in the past. Not go into details, but that alone is a teacher. You know what I'm saying? It taught me, okay, these were some mistakes my dad made. I'm gonna stay away from. And he definitely taught me later on that these were some mistakes I made. I don't want you doing the same thing. So just the importance of our fathers being there, man, in a lot of ways, it's enough. It's more than enough, man. I tilt my hat to the dads that's around. Most certainly, man. It sounds like your father was a solid man.
Man,
Rest in peace to him.
Yeah, that's 100%. And what you said is true. Now, that's the good part. There were some things that I didn't, like. There are things that I didn't. But I realized as I got older that was out of my control. You know what I mean? But he handled things the way he could handle them.
Right.
I saw a video by a brother named Kier. He was just like, it's just. It takes so much, you know what I mean? Because his father probably didn't do certain things, so he did what he knew what to do. Right. You know what I mean? Now it's my turn to take what I learned from him and do what I know what to do for my kid. Yeah, and I'm gonna make some mistakes. I'm making mistakes all the time. You know what I mean? Yeah. But it's just so important for us as dads to not, harp on it so much and just carry that burden on our shoulder. We got to lay that thing down and just keep pressing. Right. And my daughter taught me this. My daughter, I talked to my son about something one time, and it was a disciplining moment. And my daughter didn't like the way I was disciplining him, and I could have took the stance, our parents probably was like, I don't care if you how you felt about it. I'm the daddy. I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do. Boom, boom, boom. Right? It's just rah, 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 rah. Right. But my daughter didn't. I could tell it bothered her. So I talked to her about it, and I said, how do you think I should have handled that? What do you think about that? And this is my 9-year-old. She said she was reluctant at first because it was like, can I answer this question? Put her on the spot. I was like, yeah, I want to hear what you got to say. And she shared it with me, and she really just shared her heart. And I know that that's something that I didn't necessarily do as much with my father, but I'm grateful, and I want to be able to continue to build on that my daughter can share her heart with me on something that she thinks that I did wrong. You know what I mean? Because it's a lot of times, our parents probably ain't never apologized to us about nothing. And it just builds that relationship of, this is me, this is you. You need to know that this is gonna be you forever. And in essence, it does have some weight to that. That is necessarily true. But I also know that with my kids now, I want to build a relationship where they can always feel comfortable talking to me about anything, whether it's a positive situation or a negative situation, whether it's a correcting situation or a learning situation. So she shared with me. I listened to her, and I heard her heart on it, And I when I saw my son again, it was a vulnerable moment. Me and my 7-year-old, right? We were in the parking lot. And I'm like, hey, I want you to know, man, I shouldn't have did that, boom, boom, boom. And just by me saying that, he wept, right? He didn't even let me finish. He just wrapped his arms around me. I wrapped my arms around him, and we in the parking lot weeping, after he finished getting a haircut. And my daughter sitting in the car like, and I'm like, I love y'all.
Yeah, man, that's beautiful, man. And that's our main thing on this planet as Earth. We have to teach our kids how to be grown-ups.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So not only, you just killed 2 birds with 1 stone in that aspect, because you taught your daughter what type of husband to want. or
Right.
to be able to engage with. She don't want nobody that's gonna be domineering. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
What happens is in the old school way of parenting, without us realizing it, that's belittling the kids. You know what I'm saying? That's making our kids feel lower, beneath something, feeling inferior. So that's a disservice that the old school way of parenting has done to most of us. But like,
Yeah, and we won't even know it. You know what I mean? We
that's
won't
the
even know
point. We don't even know it.
why certain things, why we react certain ways to certain situations.
Right.
It could be a lot of words. It can be words spoken that can touch a kid.
Yeah.
And you don't, and the kid would just be like, okay, well, this is just the way it is. That's just the way my father spoke, or this is how my mom spoke, and they'll just bury it and suppress it and don't realize certain things. But I'm just real careful with my words. Another good example, my son wanted to go outside and play with his friends, and I was like, and I'm gonna be transparent, open and transparent with y'all right now. I was like, don't go out, don't do nothing stupid outside. And he stopped and he said, what do you mean? And I realized like his feelings was hurt because I said, don't go do nothing stupid.
Yeah.
And then I corrected myself and I was like, make sure you make the right decisions when you're outside. Just stuff like that.
That's strong.
Just a little pivot. And it kind of made him feel more like, okay, I see what you're saying. Because if I'm like, don't go do nothing stupid, it's just like,
All he
all
heard
right,
was stupid. That's all he heard. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
All that stuck out. And that's powerful. That's powerful. It's life and death is in the power of the tongue, man. You gotta, my 10, 8, and 5-year-old understand that to the T. It's certain things you're not just gonna be saying anything because you can actually manifest what you say. So
Yeah.
that is very important for parents to understand. Look, speak life into our children, man.
Yeah.
Speak life into our children. So I tilt my head, brother. And so going back to your father, was he a creative? Did he have any creative influences on you? Was he?
My father, he was a creative. He was one of the funniest people I know. He was just a comedian. He was just a life for the party, man. My dad never met a stranger. He was that type of person, very open, very friendly. Take his shirt off to give the next man something. If he had it, he'll give it.
Yes, sir.
And he was a music man.
Okay.
Y'all may not know this, but I'm a musician first. You know what
We
I
know
mean?
all about you, brother. So I'm sure all that the actor come from the comedian side of Pops, the musician come from Pops. So we know, man. You have a very impressive resume, and it seems like it's a lot of it is attributed to Pops, man.
Yeah,
Pops.
At 5 years old, he put me in piano lessons, and as I grew, I didn't want to do it because I didn't see a lot of kids like me.
Yeah.
That played the piano like the way I played it. I didn't play gospel music. I didn't grow up playing gospel. I grew up playing classical music.
Classical, okay.
Yeah, grew up playing classical, and I didn't see anybody that looked like me play piano. And my friends, they outside playing basketball. And my dad like, give me 30 minutes on the piano, and I'm like, man, I don't want to do this, But he didn't let me quit. He didn't necessarily force me to do it. Like I didn't like get beatings or nothing for not doing it, but he didn't allow me to quit because he recognized the gift in me. And I think that's also important as us as fathers, but to, guide our kids and find ways to find a niche, see where they are and just kind of give them the tools to operate in this world, and that's what my dad did.
Man, that's wonderful, man. And there's a real skill in that. You know what I'm saying? We want to dig deeper, like that classical music. It's like brain tuners. You know what I'm saying? It kind of separates the good from the best. You know what I'm saying? So that was a real strong move from your dad to like once again not force you to do it, but make you understand that this is something good to have. This is a skill that you can have. So that's on point. So how important is it for you to make your kids to understand that it's very important to be a creative or to have a creative side of them? How important is that in your perspective?
That creativity. This is quote I saw. It says something about you know, a creative is just being a creative adult is that youthful side of you staying alive. You know, it's important for me not to kill their creativity.
Right.
Um, and my daughter, you know, she's creative as far as her drawing, you know, her painting. You know, I bought her this book where she can make clothes, put clothes on these little figures that's drawn in the book. You know, she loves to do that. She loves to play with her toys and her Barbie doll stuff, and you know, she'll be in there. I'll go in there with them every once in a while and play with them. And then she'll fuss, no, this person supposed to do this person supposed to do that. And I'm
Right.
like, all right, you know. And even if it's like upside down and weird and I don't understand it, I don't shoot her creativity down.
Right.
You know?
Right. Right.
And as far as my son, he's more into the acting. You know, he's into acting and commercials and different things. And his creativity can his mind can really go when he's like reading a script or something.
Mm-hmm.
He'll just interpret characters in a very unique way. And I've learned to not, you know, kind of read the script or tell him how to say certain things because I want to let his creativity form and go and just let it, you know, for lack of better words, run wild, you know, and
Right.
just let it blossom on his own. And it's worked a little bit, you know what I mean? So I want them to feel free to express as much as they can, as often as they want. So if they come to me with an idea, I really don't shut it down. Even if I don't feel like, I'll just pull my phone down and be like, all right, go ahead and do it.
Right. Just stand on it. So how does being a black dad creative affect your family? Is your family involved? Well, your family is involved.
Yeah.
You know that, but is there any times where it may be a strain or you know, discomfort?
You know, in the beginning, when I first started doing it, see, me and my wife, we balance off, you know, and my wife, she wasn't necessarily all into it as much. She was just like, you know, because she's more laid back, behind the scenes type of
Yeah,
person,
yeah,
you know, and I respect that. I respect that. One thing I learned was I can't force my aspirations or my visions and make it hers, you know what I
right,
mean, and put it on her. You know, I don't have to wash mine out, you know what I mean, but I don't have to force it on her. You know,
right,
so I just kind of do it in my time and let her, and then when she come around, you know, when she come along to it, and then she'll join in on the fun. And there are some stuff that she's got involved in with, and she'll be getting involved a little more as we continue to go. She's doing her own thing now, you know, and she blossomed in a different way. Instead
mm-hmm.
of probably on the video, my wife, I got her, she started doing podcasting and different stuff like that. So
Yeah.
that
Something
that
behind the camera, behind the visual.
right,
Yeah,
right,
yeah.
right.
And
So
that's good that you recognize that, you know, to not force upon her. And
mhm,
I think that comes from how your dad taught you. He didn't force, you know, piano lessons on you. He allowed you to blossom in it. And
right,
that's very important, man, because we talking about black dads, but being a father it's important, just as important to show the kids how to manage the marriage as well.
right.
And it's very important that we understand that we walk in our individuality too. You know,
Yeah.
I have to be comfortable with my own individual skin to be able to bring it all together. So
Yeah,
yeah,
that's so true, man. That's true what you're saying. And you got to be comfortable with yourself. You know, be comfortable
yeah,
with yourself. And a lot of times it can be uncomfortable. It's
yeah,
something I tell my wife, I tell my friends and my family. We're in a time where we got to be comfortable with being uncomfortable. You know
yeah,
what I mean? Because
yeah.
in that uncomfortable season, that uncomfortable stage,
Oh yeah,
that's when you know the greatest parts of you will be birthed out. You know,
like a
uh,
test.
yeah, we're refined in that fire. You know what I mean?
Sure.
When we're in the
Right,
fire, when that cake is in the oven, that's when it's becoming its best. And that uncomfortable season, the woman that's pregnant, you know what I mean, at 9 months when she the most uncomfortable of her life, you know, but that's when she get ready to give birth to something. You know, so it's just important to understand and be okay with being uncomfortable, be okay with probably being a little awkward or not feeling, you know, up to it, you know, but the most important thing is to never give up and just keep going and just believe in yourself, you know.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's yep. So how was it? So with your creativity, the artistry, how was it for you getting over the hump? Is it is it sort of a still struggle with it, or what kind of tips you can give getting over the hump with your creativity in your business? I see you smirking. I know that's
I'm smirking because if you got the answer, you can tell me
yeah,
because
yeah.
I'm,
That's why I say I see you smirking. That's one of them ones. It's one of those
and
questions that can go any kind of way.
I struggle with it all the time, man. Struggle with it all the time. You know, it's just it is, you know, because being a creative is very um sensitive thing, you know, because you can put
Yeah,
something out and you it's like y'all be nice with my creative stuff now.
yeah,
Don't be mean, you know.
yeah,
Because it's something that just come out of your mind that you just decide you want to put out, and it some people may take it, some people not. But the most important thing, man, is that what's in you is for somebody else. You know what I mean? When you put it out there, it's for somebody. Somebody need to see it. Everything happens in its right time. Everything happens in the right season. Because if I do something too prematurely, you know what I mean, I might not. It might not be all of what it should be. You
yeah.
know, but
Shoot.
when you in the right season, man, nothing gonna be able to stop you. You know what I mean? You're gonna be able to continue to pour out and do whatever it is you have to do, man. I think most recently I just told my wife, I was like, I'm putting myself on 30-day challenge. You know,
Yes, sir.
I wanna do something. I wanna post something every day for the next 30 days, right? And even in this season, this quarantine season, I
Mm-hmm.
told my kids, I was like, we need to create. I want us to create something at least once every 2 weeks. You know what I mean? Y'all homeschool, so this gonna be our creative special. I want
Right.
y'all to, if it's something that y'all are doing, if it's my daughter, she made me these bookmarks. You know, I started reading this book, and I was like, I want you to make me some bookmarks, and she made me a bunch of bookmarks. You
That's
know,
extra credit stuff, huh?
yeah, extra credit
And
stuff.
you do some acting as well, right?
Yeah, I do some acting too.
Did you have any influences in that, or was it anyone that sparked that? Most people are running off. Then Denzel, that's then the different actors that you may have been inspired by. Was it any of such, or you just decided that's something you wanted to do?
Um, you know, right now, yeah, Sterling Brown, man, I really admire just the actor that he is, you know what I mean, and how he handles himself and just you know, dissecting and looking at all his scenes that he does, man. He is he's probably one of my favorites
Yeah.
just right now. And you know, believe it or not, when I was little too, you know, my dad put me in acting as a kid. You know what I mean? Did a Blue Cross Blue Shield type, but I was
Okay.
mostly all commercials, man. And you know, did that to maybe I was about 15 years old, and then I stopped. But that's
Papa too, man. Papa made sure you had some stuff under your belt, man. So you could always turn to.
yeah, man. I owe a lot to him. I owe a lot to him. My part was a hustler, man. He was
Yeah.
like, "Man, he'll teach you how to hustle too. You need these streams."
Yes, sir.
So
I heard from you familiar with Dr. Miles Monroe?
yeah,
Yeah. So I've learned from him. It's nothing like knowing. As a man, you want to know and be able to do any and everything, especially with a family.
yeah,
So getting knowledge and just knowing things because you don't want to. In his terms, you don't want to be stupid.
yeah, man. Especially in the age we live in right now, you know, when information is at our fingertips, there's no reason we shouldn't know how to do something. If you know, if it's something we want to learn how to do, just type it in. You know, if I want to learn to be a realtor, I'm gonna just type in how to be a realtor. You know, and then the different certifications will pop up. Okay, I can do this, pay this to get this, or whatever the case. And then there's also YouTube University. Everything you need to know.
Degrees in YouTube, man. There's no excuse. There's no excuse. That's where I pretty much learn carpentry. I got some carpentry skills going on.
Yeah,
Camera, yeah, all that.
I learned a lot about the camera off YouTube.
Editing, all that off of YouTube, man. So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's no excuse, man. No excuse. So with it all, with it all, what do you do for your mental, for us winding down, or for your mental health? Do you take
For my
breaks
mental health.
for yourself, by yourself, or whatever?
Yeah, I take time to myself. A lot of times, it is weird. I watch a lot of action, you know, just shoot, do all kind of stuff. The powers, the snow, all of the just
Yeah,
most
action.
action thing I can find. You know, action, shoot 'em, blow them up, all that kind of stuff. I love those type of films.
Yes, sir.
Suspense, Born Supremacy is probably like one of my that whole Born series.
Yeah,
I like stuff like that. But one of the main things I do is I'll play a video game, and get on some Madden, NBA 2K, you know, stuff like that.
right.
I just keep that kid inside me, you know,
Yeah.
keep rolling, you know.
Oh yeah, nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all. No, I'm big on martial arts movies. I love martial arts movies. So Bruce Lee's, Tony Jaa's, just
Yeah.
martial arts. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
It's not even just fighting all day. It's about discipline and all that. So yeah, I'm into all that. I definitely understand. You know where you're coming from on this. Is zone out. You know when things, you have a long day, busy day. You want to get somewhere where you kind of mellow out, cool out.
Right.
Saying
That's important, man. It's important. Our mental health is important. It's something that I had to grow to understand.
right.
You know, you think you have everything under control and all this kind of stuff. The first time, man, that you know, we grew up thinking going to a therapist or talking to somebody is
Weak.
like something wrong with you. You know what I mean? Ain't nothing wrong with me. I don't need to go talk to somebody, but I did, man, about maybe 4 or 5 years ago. I went and saw this guy for maybe about 6 or 7 months, and just the information and different things that he just helped me see things from a different perspective.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's important to get outside of my bubble, you know what I mean, and just kind of see from a different bubble, because you know, knowledge is power, and then application is even stronger than that. You know, so if I can learn something and apply it, you know what I mean, why not just become a better person? You know, better person overall. You know, just like the guy said, he said it is. Kira was like, it's more to life. You know, I just can't pour water on the baby and my wife and think, you know, I'm gonna just create this thing. You know, it's not oatmeal. You know what I mean? It takes understanding them, understanding the child. You know, understanding the way I grew up, understanding my parents and different things like that. So I'm all about that, just that mental space. You know what I mean? It's just keeping your space.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Keeping your peace, man.
Most certainly. So
And
I know one of the things that I love to do when I'm winding down, grab me a glass of Rex whiskey,
yeah.
smooth that day out, you know. And so me and my wife, we're very busy individuals with businesses and for us parenting. So it'll be nice. We both just kick back, you know, nothing to be on. We just enjoying each other with our whiskey. Is it so? Are you a whiskey drinker at all?
You know, I've drunk whiskey a lot of times with my cousin. I have a cousin in Atlanta. He is the whiskey king. You know what I mean? And, I can go up there and really have a good time with him and just really just melt out. You know what I mean? Where it just be, you know, it's just brothers, man, just hanging out and just enjoying each other. You know?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, what's your favorite whiskey other than Rex whiskey?
Shucks. Anything that'll take it is slightly easy on my chest, you know.
Oh yeah. You don't want
Yeah.
You don't want that burn going down.
Yeah, you know, I'm a little amateur in it, you know what I mean? So he know to take it easy on him. I give him a nice little Coke or something, mix it up and give him a bourbon or something, be straight.
Okay, right. Well, that's all right. That's all right. You don't want to overindulge in that anyway. So you mix, you know. But yeah, man. So once again, this segment is sponsored by Rex Whiskey, a black-owned whiskey company. and we definitely enjoy it, and we enjoy supporting them. So
Yeah.
yeah. But what's next for Anthony Jenkins? What's next? What we got going on next?
Oh man, next for me, I told my wife, I want to focus on legacy. You know what I mean? I want to focus on, establishing something that not only we can enjoy, but my kids can enjoy, my kids' kids can enjoy. So we did start a LLC company, you know what I mean? And it's kind of like a consulting business, Greater Entertainment, where people, small businesses, that's who I really, really want to pertain to. Small businesses can come to me, they can say, hey, I want a commercial, I want to shoot this idea, this is something I want to do. And then me and my wife as the consulting firm in it can provide a service to them that they can, just use to grow their business. You know what I mean? They can put something on their website, something on their social media page, or whatever they want to do. But it's just to build up and empower them and all the influence that they have. That's one aspect of it. Another aspect is, I do want to dive into more of the TV and film industry, as far as being on screen instead of just actually behind the screen.
Right, right.
Uh, and this is funny, but I want to follow my son's footsteps. He got on the screen before me.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
yeah, no
he
doubt.
he he had a feature spot on David Makes Man on with the OWN network, the Oprah Winfrey
Okay.
network. It's a show called David Makes Man. He was featured on that. That was an awesome experience. So I'm trying to follow. I said I want to be like you when I grow up, little homie.
No, so your sons are one of your influences then. Okay.
Yeah, he definitely is, man. He's definitely one of my influence. I admire his courage. He's not afraid of anything. He was 6 years old, waking up at a 7 o'clock call time. I was nervous. I was like, I hope he do well when he get in there. It's like, yeah, we got a rehearsal. I was like, all right, here you go. And he walked right in there and just pop right on her, man. I couldn't be more proud of him, man. I'm really proud of him. Both him and my daughter, you know.
No doubt, no doubt. Well, over here at Dear Fathers, we proud of him. We proud of you, man, because you give him that opportunity to walk confidently in what he want to do and who he is. So no doubt, man. Definitely tilt my hat to you. We tilt your hat to y'all. And
Thank you.
yeah, man. So where can we find you? Other than what's the LLC you got going?
Well, my LLC is Greater Entertainment LLC. You can find that's on Instagram at Greater Entertainment
Mhm.
LLC. You can find me on Instagram is Anthony_Jenkins with a Z. Um, and you can find my son, he's Anthony B. Jenkins, and my daughter is Skyland Jenkins. We I just, we just want to continue, man, and just make people smile, make people laugh, and just be an inspiration to somebody. If I can just reach one, that's it. That's where I'm headed, man. I just want to make an impact that can't be erased here in this world.
Once again, man, we tilt our hats, man. We tilt our hats because this is what you're doing is what needs to be seen, man. And it's so not only are you showing the world that we are effective as families positively, but you're showing the legacy piece as well. So each and every person in your household has something that they can, grow into and make expand under the umbrella of y'all family business. So yeah, once again, man, salute to you, man. Salute to you
Thank
and
you.
the Lord.
Thank you. Thank you, man. I know that if I go alone, it's a saying, if I want to go somewhere fast, I can go alone. But if I want to go far, I go together, and I just I want to do this together, with my family, with you all, with my brother families, you know what I mean? And I just salute you guys, man, for everything that you all doing and just opening the platform for people like myself and other brothers, and just showing that there are some positive dads out here, and that this is who we are. You know what I mean? We're not just what the media might show on TV. You
Right.
know, it's brothers that who are really doing this thing every single day, and this is just their life. And it's even not even the creative ones, the ones that just do it. They don't need the camera, they just do it, and just empowering their kids, and all it's gonna do is just make that next generation, stronger than the first, than the one before.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, proud of you, bro. We appreciate you. Appreciate having you on. And once again, I can't stop saying until my hat, bro, because you're doing it. You're doing a real good service for us and the world. All
Thank
right.
you.
So,
All
yes,
right, man.
we want to thank everybody for tuning in to another episode of Black Dads Creative, and we salute all the dope dads, all the creative dads out there. All right. Talk to you soon, brother.
All right, man.
Peace.
Thank you all for tuning in into another episode of Black Dad Creatives, brought to you by Dear Fathers. Salute to all the dope dad creators out there. We'll catch y'all next time.